Waking up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, night after night's not a small inconvenience. And it is not something you should simply accept as part of aging. For adults over the age of 60, this pattern is one of the most common signs that the body's internal repair systems are being interrupted at their most critical moment. It is a disruption that quietly erodes energy, memory, muscle strength, immune function, and emotional resilience. And what often shocks my patients the most is this. The very habit you believe is helping your health, a simple glass of plain water before bed, may be the exact reason this problem keeps happening. It sounds harmless, responsible, even. We are constantly told to stay hydrated, and many people over 60 make a conscious effort to drink water before sleep to avoid dehydration overnight. But physiology changes with age, and when those changes are ignored, even healthy habits can begin working against you. The issue is not drinking before bed. The issue is drinking the wrong thing. After the age of 60, your body's nighttime water regulation works very differently than it did at 40. Levels of antidiuretic hormone, often called ADH, naturally declined. This hormone is responsible for telling your kidneys to slow urine production at night. When ADH drops, the kidneys stop conserving fluid, and any liquid consumed in the evening passes through the system far more quickly. At the same time, the bladder itself changes. It becomes less elastic and more sensitive. It can no longer stretch and hold fluid as efficiently, and it sends urgency signals to the brain at much lower volumes. The result is predictable. You are pulled out of deep sleep not because your body is done resting, but because your bladder demands attention. But there is a second, deeper problem that is rarely discussed. Plain water, from a neurological perspective, is empty. It contains no compounds that calm the nervous system, no minerals that relax muscles, no amino acids that support melatonin production. So what happens is this: your bladder fills, your sleep is interrupted, and your brain receives no calming or stabilizing benefit in return. This is why simply cutting fluids at night is not the answer. Dehydration creates its own problems: muscle cramps, low blood pressure, dizziness, and fragmented sleep. The real solution is smarter hydration that works with your nighttime physiology instead of against it. My name is Dr. Richard Coleman. For more than 30 years, my clinical work has focused exclusively on adults navigating their 60s, 70s, and beyond. I do not believe in quick hacks or temporary tricks. I believe in understanding what the body is actually doing and supporting it correctly. In this presentation, I am not going to tell you to stop drinking at night. I am going to show you what to drink instead. We will discuss 5 specific nighttime beverages designed to support sleep physiology in older adults. Each one serves a different purpose: calming the brain, relaxing muscles, stabilizing nerves, regulating stress hormones, or supporting overnight tissue repair. And I strongly encourage you to stay with me until the end. The final option is the most powerful. It does not merely help you fall asleep, actively enhances overnight recovery, supporting muscles, joints, collagen, and deep restorative sleep. Many people notice a difference the very first night. Before we continue, I would like to know who I am speaking with. Please take a moment to leave a comment and tell us where you are watching from. This community exists because of shared experiences, and we do read your comments. If you find this information useful, please consider liking and sharing this video with someone who may also be struggling. And if you are new here, subscribing ensures you receive practical, science-based health guidance without fear or exaggeration. Now, let us address the core problem clearly. Plain water at night creates 2 major issues for adults over 60. The first is mechanical. Reduced antidiuretic hormone means increased nighttime urine production. A more sensitive bladder means earlier wake-ups. Together, they form the perfect recipe for repeated sleep disruption. The second issue is neurological. Water does nothing to support sleep chemistry. It does not provide magnesium to quiet neuromuscular activity. It does not provide glycine to lower core body temperature. It does not provide tryptophan to support serotonin and melatonin synthesis. The goal, therefore, is not to eliminate evening hydration. The goal is to replace empty fluid with functional fluid. Let us begin with the first alternative. Warm, unsweetened almond milk. This is an excellent option, particularly for adults who no longer tolerate dairy well. Almond milk contains no lactose, is gentle on digestion, and provides two key sleep-supporting nutrients. The first is tryptophan, an essential amino acid your body cannot produce on its own. In the brain, tryptophan is converted into serotonin, the neurotransmitter associated with calm and emotional stability. At night, serotonin becomes melatonin, the hormone that governs sleep, timing, and depth. The second benefit is magnesium. Magnesium acts as a natural nervous system stabilizer. It reduces excessive nerve firing, relaxes muscle fibers, and helps quiet the electrical noise that prevents the body from fully powering down. A small amount, approximately 120 to 150 milliliters, warmed and consumed 60 to 90 minutes before bed, can gently prepare your body for rest without overloading the bladder. But what if your primary problem is not physical tension but a race in mind? If you lie down exhausted but your thoughts refuse to slow, the issue is often neurotransmitter imbalance rather than fatigue. This brings us to the second alternative, chamomile tea. Chamomile's effectiveness is not folklore. Its active compound, apigenin, binds directly to GABA receptors in the brain. GABA is the nervous system's primary inhibitory neurotransmitter. It reduces excitability and signals safety. When GABA activity is low, the brain remains alert even when the body is tired. Apigenin enhances GABA's calming effect, allowing the brain to transition naturally into sleep without sedation or dependency. Prepare chamomile simply. Steep 1 tea bag for 5 to 7 minutes. Allow it to cool to warm, not hot, and sip it slowly about 1 hour before bed. Avoid sweeteners entirely. Even small sugar spikes can trigger insulin and later cortisol release, causing early morning awakenings. Now let us address a frequently overlooked cause of nighttime disruption: electrolyte imbalance. Muscle cramps, restless legs, bladder irritability, and sudden nighttime urgency often stem from unstable nerve signaling. Even mild deficiencies in potassium or magnesium can cause nerves to fire erratically during rest. This leads us to the third option: lightly warmed, diluted coconut water. When used correctly, coconut water provides a natural balance of potassium and magnesium that stabilizes nerve transmission and muscle contraction. Potassium is especially critical for proper muscle relaxation, including the smooth muscle of the bladder. However, this option requires strict guidelines. Coconut water must be warmed. Cold liquids increase bladder stimulation. It must be diluted 1:1 with warm water to reduce sugar load. The volume must remain small, no more than 100 to 120 milliliters. And it should be consumed earlier in the evening, at least 2 hours before bed. Importantly, anyone with kidney disease or on potassium-altering medications must consult their physician before using this option. Next, we must discuss cortisol, the body's primary stress hormone. Cortisol should be highest in the morning and lowest at night. In many older adults, this rhythm becomes reversed. Cortisol remains elevated in the evening, keeping the body in a constant state of alertness. This is where golden milk becomes invaluable. Golden milk combines turmeric with black pepper. Turmeric's active compound, curcumin, interacts with the HPA axis E command center for stress regulation. Black pepper increases curcumin absorption dramatically. By gently reducing nighttime cortisol, golden milk helps signal safety to the nervous system. It also reduces inflammation, easing joint discomfort that can otherwise fragment sleep. Mix half a teaspoon of turmeric with a pinch of black pepper and 150 milliliters of warm almond milk. Sip slowly about 1 hour before bed. Finally, we arrive at the most comprehensive solution: warm gelatin, or low sodium. Bone broth. The key compound here is glycine. Glycine is both a neurotransmitter and a metabolic regulator. It calms brain activity, lowers core body temperature, and increases time spent in deep, slow-wave sleep phase responsible for physical repair. Glycine also supports collagen synthesis, taken before sleep. It provides raw materials exactly when the body is most actively repairing muscles, joints, tendons, and connective tissue. Phase responsible for physical repair. Dissolve 1 teaspoon of high-quality gelatin powder in 120 milliliters of warm water, or sip a small cup of low-sodium bone broth 30 to 45 minutes before bed. Now, one final and critical point. These drinks only work if the protocol is followed precisely. Volume must remain small. Timing must be 60 to 90 minutes before bed. You must empty your bladder immediately before lying down. Sip slowly, never gulp. And test one option at a time for several nights. Your body is not broken. Waking at 2 a.m. is not inevitable. It is a signal and. Now you know how to respond. Choose one option, follow the method, and give your body what it truly needs to rest, repair, and recover. A full night of deep, restorative sleep is still possible starting tonight. And as you begin this process, I want you to approach it with patience rather than urgency. The body, after 60, responds best to consistency, not force. One correct. Supportive change, practiced calmly over several nights, is far more powerful than chasing multiple solutions at once. Sleep is not something you conquer. It is something you invite. Many people ask me, Dr. Coleman, how soon should I expect results? The honest answer is this. Some notice improvement the very first night, particularly with glycine-rich options like gelatin or bone broth. For others, it may take 3 to 5 nights for the nervous system to fully recognize the new signal of safety and stability. That delay does not mean it isn't working. It means your system is weak. It is also important to understand what improvement actually looks like. Success does not always mean sleeping 8 uninterrupted hours immediately. Often, the first sign is you may still wake once, but you fall back asleep more, or you wake feeling less groggy, or the anxiety that usually greets you at 3 a.m. simply isn't there anymore. These are signs that your sleep architecture is healing. One mistake I urge you to avoid is abandoning a method too quickly. The brain and hormonal system need repetition to trust a new pattern. Give each option at least 3 consecutive nights, following the protocol exactly, before deciding whether it suits your body. Now, let me address a concern that often comes up. Some people worry that drinking anything at night these smarter options will inevitably worsen nighttime urination. In practice, when done correctly, the opposite usually occurs. Nutrient-dense, thicker liquids are absorbed more slowly and held within teeth. They support cellular hydration instead of flooding the bladder. This is why so many patients report fewer awakenings, not more. Another important point. What you drink at night cannot fully compensate for what you do during the day. If you are underhydrated all afternoon and then try to catch up in the evening, even the best nighttime drink will struggle to help. Aim to consume most of your daily fluids earlier in the day, tapering gently after dinner. Think of nighttime hydration as targeted support, not volume replacement. I also encourage you to take note of your evening environment. Bright screens, loud news, and emotionally charged conversations elevate cortisol regardless of what you drink. These beverages work best when paired with a calming pre-sleep routine, lighting, gentle music, or quiet reading. Sleep is a full-body event, not a single intervention. Now, I want to speak directly to something many older adults feel but rarely say aloud. Repeated nighttime waking can quietly erode confidence. You begin to dread bedtime. You anticipate being awake. You start planning your night around interruption. This anticipation alone can train the brain to stay alert, creating a self-reinforcing cycle. Breaking that cycle requires sending a new message to the nervous system, one of predictability, nourishment, and safety. That is exactly what these smart drinks do. They tell your body, you are supported. You have what you need. It is safe to rest now. And when that message is delivered consistently, the body listens. I have seen people who believed their sleep problems were permanent regain full, uninterrupted rest well into their 70s and 80s, not through medication, not through deprivation, but through alignment with their changing physiology. Aging does not mean deterioration. It means adaptation. And when you adapt correctly, the body often responds with remarkable resilience. So, tonight, choose one option that best matches your primary issue. Is it muscle tension? Consider almond, milk, or gelatin. Is it a race in mind? Chamomile may be your ally. Is it leg discomfort or bladder urgency? Carefully prepared coconut water may help. Is it stress and inflammation? Golden milk can restore balance. Follow the rules. Keep the volume small. Respect the timing. Sip slowly. Empty your bladder before bed and give your body the chance to respond. You are not asking for too much by wanting a full night's sleep. You are asking for what your body was designed to do. And with the right support, it still can. If you found this information helpful, please let us know in the comments which option you plan to try first. Your experience may help someone else who feels alone in this struggle. Share this with someone you care about. And remember better, sleep is not behind you. It is waiting for you.